What's happening, people? I'm what you need. I just listened to AKI Sports TV. AKI, sorry. My bad, dude. And he's talking about how he's apologizing to Roy Jones Jr. for what Roy had said. The thing about AKI was he didn't expect a tough fight for Errol with Sean. I did. I'm not apologizing to Roy Jones Jr. because I critiqued Roy's statements as inaccurate based on the fact that he was doing as if Terrence Crawford had been tested. And so he was behaving incongruous, or as we say, he was giving what we call a unbalanced assessment. So in other words, because I'm using big words, I just realized, I'm saying that Errol, if he says Errol's untested, then so is Terrence. Okay, Terrence has not gone through any test. What was Terrence's toughest test? Who? In his entire career? Gamboa? So he talks about little ass Gamboa giving Terrence Crawford problems. And he made it through that. It's not the same equivalent of a Sean Porter, and we all know this. Terrence is untested at welterweight to start with, and two, in his entire career, his toughest test was Gamboa. That really says very little. Okay? Guy coming up in weight, smaller guy, giving you problems. Terrence has been glorified as this pound for pound great, as most barbarian fighters are. And he's becoming now somebody who's overrated. He's trying to make noise, calling out Errol and warning Errol and all kinds of shit. And Terrence still ain't done shit. You know what I'm saying? And hey, shout out to Intangible Boxing. What is Intangible Boxing saying here? I don't care how untested Bud is. He will beat these dudes. Psst. Put him in with them then. Put him in there with them. Put him in with them. I ain't got a problem. Put him in. Put him in with Errol. Let's see if your prediction on mine is right. I talk boxing, ninja. I don't talk out my ass. So put him in there with him. I don't have a problem. Like I said before, I'm a guy, don't have a problem. I don't protect fighters. Put him in there with him. I'm just telling you the truth. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So Errol Spence replied to Terrence Crawford. From what I'm seeing from the Boxing Voice, I was looking around to see where his response was. They're saying he said fuck pound for pound. Because Terrence Crawford thinks he's pound for pound number one, which Errol doesn't give a damn about. I'm going to tell you this. Terrence is pound for pound without facing Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence. He pound for pound, right? He the welterweight that would kick all their ass, right? He ain't faced none of them, but he pound for pound. Like, really. Don't forget to smash that like button if you like this. How you can be pound for pound number one in the world, better than all these fighters, and you ain't even face one of them. Put him in there with them. Put him in there with them then. Let's see it. Put him in there. Bob Arum, usually watching me. Put him in there with Sean Porter. Everybody want to see him with Errol? Put him in there with Errol. He gonna go in there with Errol anyway, but accelerate it. Errol, forget about Danny Garcia. Go inside there and face Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford wants Errol Spence. Give him it. Give him what he wants. Give him what he wants. Give him. I don't care. Put him in there. Put him in there. You want to see it? We all want to see it. Put him in there. I've been saying what I've been saying. Y'all don't want to hear me. So put him in there. All right? He untested. Not only is he untested, his career has been untested. He been cruising. Okay? He went in there with a Ricky Burns who had gotten his jaw broken by Ray Beltran. Okay? He crossed the seas. I give him credit for that. but doing as if Kell Brook was injured. Well, guess what? Ricky Burns was injured. He was coming off an injury. That's why he was tentative against. He wasn't the Ricky Burns that we all know. Oh, nobody talks about that though. That's how he won his lineal title. Okay? Then he defended against little ass Gamboa. And those are the two greatest achievements he has in his entire fucking career. All the other guys are titleists. Inexperienced fighters with flaws. That's what he built his entire fucking career off of. He has some good fighters like Felix Diaz and what's the other kid's name? They're two pretty good fighters there that they weren't world champions. Felix Diaz gave Lamont Peterson a good run for his money, and the other guy, right? And he ran over those guys. Cool, good for him. Put him in there with Errol Spence. I don't have a problem. Errol Spence should scratch everything. Put him in there in February against Errol Spence. Put him in there. Y'all want to see an ass whooping? Y'all gonna see an ass whooping. You're gonna see an ass whooping in the 11th and 12th. When you see this fight, did you see the championship rounds? Errol Spence gonna put it on his ass. And he gonna do the same thing to Danny Garcia. But hey, don't take my word for it. What do I know about boxing? I don't know shit about boxing. Don't take my word for it. I'm looking forward to it though. I would love to see that. Because I know it's going to be an ass whooping in the 11th and 12th. I know it. Y'all pump up fighters based on what criteria? What has Terrence Crawford done? See, y'all are talking about Terrence Crawford will beat these guys. Okay, how? What has he done? Give me some reasoning. Don't just talk like you're brainwashed. Tell me how. He a switch hitter. Guess what? Sean Porter's a switch hitter. You ain't saying nothing new. Kell Brook's a switch hitter. He a glorified fighter. And he's becoming overrated. He's becoming overrated. Right? Keep on talking, man. Pump him up. Give me a reason why he gonna beat these guys. He ain't no Floyd Mayweather. He ain't no Manny Pacquiao. He ain't them. He Terrence Crawford. Give me a reason. He came up from lightweight. He fought at super lightweight. Some okay guys. Victor Posol being the best of them. All right. And Ndongo had flaws. He was reaching in his punches, reaching all over the place. All right. Just like with Demetrius Andrade's African fighter that he faced. That guy was reaching too. So he got tagged up. Okay. Just saying. Who has Terrence Crawford beat that gives you the confidence to think he can beat these guys? He looks good against B-level opposition. He looks good. No doubt about it. He looks good against them. Show me. Show me that this man can beat Errol Spence. Show me. Give me some evidence. Give me something. Who has he faced? Who is the person that you think, where is his Sean Porter? Yorkers Gamboa? Back at lightweight? That little super featherweight? Who ain't done nothing at lightweight? He ain't won no title, nothing? That one? Show me. Prove to me. Shout out to AKI TV, man. Sup, fam? Prove to me, man. You got to show me something. He ain't show me nothing. He got some skill. But ain't all of the welterweights got skill. All of them. All of them got their little marquee thing. Keith Thurman's unpredictable. In and out movement. Fast. He hooks with the right hand, but he also throws the straight right hand when he wants to. Big, strong welterweight. Danny Garcia's counterpuncher. He counterpunches the shit out of you. Got power in both hands. Got great timing. Sean Porter, inside fighter, works like a motherfucker. He will outwork your ass, and he's getting more accurate. Big welterweight. Errol Spence, slick, skilled, tall, strong, southpaw. Can fight on the outside, can fight on the inside. Can hunt you down, work the body, break you down, and stop you if your will breaks. Terrence Crawford, skill switch hitter, can box on the outside, can bang a little bit on the inside, okay? Can deal with mid-range, usually uses the extended high guard. Needs to find a rhythm to deal with a fighter. Tries to assess the fighter on the outside before going on the inside like Mikey Garcia does. I am describing the fighters for you and their styles. He too small. He's too small. He too small for Sean Porter. Keith Thurman, he can land some body shots, but Keith Thurman gonna get used to his ass. He too small. He not fast like Pacquiao. He's too small. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying, man. He too small for them. He too small. They're gonna run his ass over right now. He gotta get stronger. But hey, don't take my word for it. Put him in there with Errol. Put him in there with Sean. After them two ass beatings, y'all gonna change your mind and be, oh, he was over high pound for pound. Hey, listen, y'all wanted it. It's too soon. But hey, y'all want it, so go ahead. Bob Arum understands. Why do you think Gervonta Davis ain't in there with Lomachenko? Floyd understands. The fighter got to be ready, man. Shane fought nobody besides Holiday dude before Oscar. That's not true. That's not true at all. Go back and look at the record. Go back and watch the record. Go watch it again. That's not true. And as I said before, you can't use Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya came up from super featherweight, a weight class below Sean Porter, below Shane Mosley. And Shane Mosley and Oscar fought in the same weight division in the amateurs. You cannot use Oscar De La Hoya. You have to use somebody who was a career welterweight that Shane Mosley faced. He never did that. He never jumped up in weight class and faced a career welterweight. Neither did Duran. Well, Duran faced Palomino, but Palomino was old, and still you could argue that Palomino won that fight if you go and watch it. Shane Mosley, the only people in the Bud Errol thing that wants to fight is Bud. Errol clearly does not want that fight. Man, please. Errol doing Bud a favor. Bud has beyond achievements than any 147-pounder besides Manny. Whoa. Oh, you trolling me. That's what you doing, intangible. You trolling my ass now. What are you talking about, man? You talking about undisputed? That's it? I'm talking about who he faced, who he beat. Look at the list. All them other welterweights have faced better competition, better quality competition, better names than Terrence Crawford. Go ahead, rack it up. I already put the list in front of you in the last video. You want me to call it this? I'm gonna do it. Hold on a second though. I'm gonna do that. You're the same person that said Pacquiao Thurman was a 70-30 in favor of Thurman. Yo, no. Don't do that. On the night of the fight, I was saying it's gonna be 55-45. You know that. You're the same person that said Errol Spence gonna stop Sean Porter. You're the one that said that. You were wrong. You were wrong. Don't go down that road. What the fuck? Charge this motherfucker up. Don't go there. AKI TV says, sup fam? AKI TV says, so who you picking, Spence or Terrence? Right now, Spence. Terrence got to get stronger. Terrence got to get a lot stronger. Who is he facing that's strong? He's facing to see that he acclimatized to the weight class properly? Who has he? Errol Spence will beat him. Especially down the stretch. He'll beat him. And beat him bad. Because Errol's stronger than him. They saying Terrence got underestimated strength. I have no doubt about that. But at welterweight, this is welterweight now. These are big, strong welterweights. These not, I'm telling you, man, these are big, strong welterweights. You see how Sean Porter was turning Errol Spence because he's physically stronger than Errol Spence. AKTV said if they fight right now, Errol Spence gonna beat him. If Sean Porter fights Terrence Crawford right now, Sean Porter going to take that WBO title. Okay, that's what it is. It's just what it is. They're physically too big and too strong for him at this point in time. Maybe when Terrence gets, this is my opinion, okay? And the reason I'm saying that is just look at the Errol Spence Sean Porter fight. All right, Terrence is no listen. Sean Porter has beaten every single smaller fighter than him. Every single smaller fighter than him. We're talking Danny Garcia got beat. We had Adrian Granados, he got beat. Adrian Broner got beat, right? All the guys who come up in weight to welterweight, Sean Porter has beaten. Devin Alexander got beat. Okay, Terrence is going to be no exception to the rule for Sean Porter, because Sean Porter will be in your face, in your chest, right up on you, landing punches, and he will do that same thing to Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford uses an extended high guard. I'm going to show y'all. I got to demonstrate shit. I don't like doing this, though, because I want the fight to happen and y'all see the thing play out for yourself. Because a lot of y'all talk, man. You just talk. Hate that. All right, Terrence Crawford will do out here. He out here, and he'll be doing this. Because he's trying to pull with his hand to find range. Okay? This is a stance that we know from the amateurs. Okay? How do you deal with a guy who's got his extended guard out there, or sometimes he wants to stiff arm you, keep his stiff arm right here? How do you deal with that? You use what? Bobbing, weaving, dipping, slipping. So if you stiff arm me here, and I do like this, and I slip you, and then I stick my jab out this way, or I slide under you like this, right? I negate the jab that's coming back at me. And I'm protected by your jab. Because your jab goes past me, your right hand can't hit me. So I can stick my jab under you. I can go up under, as they say, and I can go high. Whoop. And I can stick you with a jab. And Sean does that all the time. He gonna get to the inside of Terrence. Terrence gonna try and clinch him up here, right? Lock him up, right? That's what he gonna try and do. But Sean's a lot more slippery now on the inside. So Sean can slide to the inside, go weak side one time. I slide to the inside, go weak side. I slide to the inside, go weak side. Right? What you gonna do? I'm just showing you, I just show you one piece of it. There's many different variables. I haven't talked about feinting. I haven't talked about pivot work. I haven't talked about none of that stuff. None of that stuff. I'm just showing you how easy it is for a guy to negate another guy's jab if the other guy don't know what to do besides just jabbing. All right? Terrence gives you virtual distance and all of that too, but I'm just saying. All right? Y'all still luck up on the jab. 74-inch reach only means something when you're straight in front of an opponent, when you're facing them. You got to know which direction they're circling. They got to repeat themselves and become predictable. We call it habits or patterns of behavior. Your reach don't mean shit if the guy's coming off an angle. All right? Your reach don't mean shit if a guy's coming off an angle. Let me say it again. Your reach don't mean shit if the guy is coming off an angle. AKI TV says, you got a good point on Crawford not having a tough test yet. That's my point. Roy Jones Jr., he was saying that, Errol hadn't had a tough fight. He hadn't been tested, but Terrence Crawford hadn't been tested either. And he's in a whole different weight division with a whole set of guys who are much better boxers than anybody he's ever faced, except for Yuriorkis Gamboa. And even Gamboa is not as good a boxer as some of these guys, which bring their own unique styles to the table, which brings a whole set of unique challenges. And all of them, you guys say, Gamboa was a smaller guy against Terrence Crawford, and he was still giving Crawford fits. These guys are bigger than Terrence Crawford. Even Manny Pacquiao. Everybody want to talk about Manny Pacquiao was being shielded from Terrence, whatever. Listen, Manny Pacquiao's a problem for Terrence Crawford. He a problem. Especially this Manny Pacquiao. He a problem for Terrence Crawford. He would take a beating, though. Terrence going to beat his ass. In the middle to late rounds, he's going to beat his ass. But I'm just saying, Pacquiao's a problem early for Terrence Crawford. Big problem. And then down the stretch, Pacquiao always responds. Down the stretch, Pacquiao gonna be a problem. You see the championship rounds, Pacquiao gonna be a problem then. But the middle rounds, Terrence gonna probably take those middle rounds because Pacquiao always slow down. He old. He gotta pace himself. You gonna have to go on defense. Defense and counter. Terrence know what to do with Pacquiao, but nonetheless, I'm just saying Pacquiao could be a problem very quickly for Terrence. But Terrence studies. Don't get me wrong. He is schooled to. I'm just saying, the speed and the power of Pacquiao will throw off Terrence for a little bit because he's not like Amir Khan. Amir Khan comes straight down the center. Pacquiao now cutting angles. That's what he did with Keith Thurman. He didn't come straight down the center against Keith Thurman. He came off an angle. Keith was just supposed to pivot, really. He was just supposed to pivot and roll that punch, but Keith went straight back. That was his fault. But you just never know when Pacquiao going to attack you. That's the thing. But once you are alert and you keep yourself sharp, you should be okay with him. Intangible Boxer said, I did not say Errol Spence would stop Sean. Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. And you thought it was going to be a one-sided fight. Easy fight. Tommy Temper, let's go champ. Joe 5684, Errol's an alcoholic. He's fading. Psst. Okay. Keep that confidence up. Keep that confidence up. Errol's an alcoholic and he's fading. All right, cool. That alcoholic beat Sean Porter, right? He on the judges scorecard. That alcoholic also beat Kell Brook. Okay. Keep that same energy, man. Keep that same energy. Because I hope that Errol will face Terrence next. I hope so. We can get Terrence Crawford out of the way so he can face Pacquiao. All right, and become undisputed. Because I'm tired of hearing some real stupid stuff by people inflating this guy when this guy hasn't been tested at welterweight. He hasn't been tested most of his career. That's where Roy Jones Jr. is wrong. What goes for the goose goes for the gander. If you're saying that Errol Spence wasn't tested when he faced Kell Brook, then Terrence Crawford wasn't tested when he faced Gamboa and Ricky Burns. Because Terrence Crawford was tested. Lamont Peterson was a top-tier guy. Okay, he was a paper champion, welterweight, but he was a top-tier guy. Okay, that was a quality guy he faced. He faced Kell Brook, okay, was a quality guy. Okay, he beat both of them and stopped them. All right, that has to count for something. Okay, Mikey Garcia was a smaller guy. He didn't stop Mikey Garcia, but he was a smaller guy. All right, Mikey Garcia got defense. Defense wins you fight. Defense. You're going to hear me saying that over and over. So he was never going to stop Mikey Garcia. No matter what anybody says, he was never going to stop Mikey Garcia. All right? I'm not saying Terrence Crawford don't have defense, but Terrence Crawford engages too damn much. And in a fight with Errol Spence, which he will end up doing, he going to get beat up in the later rounds. He going to get beat up. I said it again. I said it again and again and again. He going to get beat up. See, y'all was a guarantee that Errol Spence would beat Sean Porter. I never saw that. And now I'm telling y'all, he will beat on that little guy. He gonna beat on him. You notice I'm saying little guy. If Errol was to face Floyd Mayweather, he would get some punches in. He would beat Floyd Mayweather's ass in certain rounds. Floyd might get the win, but he would take a beating, especially in certain rounds. All right. If Keith Thurman or Kell Brook, well, not Kell Brook so much, but if Keith Thurman or Sean Porter, especially Sean Porter, if Sean Porter was to face Floyd, it would have been a harder fight than the Marcos Maidana fight. Floyd would still get a win, but his ass would have gotten beaten up. All right? That's just the way it go. He would have get a headbutt too. All right? Sean Porter is that kind of dude. And y'all got to understand that. Floyd would have still beat Sean Porter, but it would not have been an easy night. Okay? And Floyd know that. Floyd didn't want that work. He didn't want no young buck. He said that's for the new generation. I could beat these guys, but I don't need that. And they got their own career. Okay? Showbiz the adult understands this. And I'm not saying that Terrence Crawford wouldn't have a nice close fight with Errol Spence for a bunch of rounds. But Errol would be invested into that body. He would be invested into that small guy's body. And he'll cash out in the 11th and 12th. He gonna cash in on all that stuff. He'll be sneaking in all those little body shots. If he could do that to Sean Porter, slow him down a bit and drop him, he definitely do it to Terrence Crawford. And he definitely going to do it to Danny Garcia. He's going to do it to him. And unless Danny Garcia goes ultra defensive or Terrence Crawford goes ultra defensive, in which case, Errol's just going to blow them out. Intangible Boxing says, it's conceivable possibly that Spence could stop Sean against the ropes. I made a prediction video that said Errol Spence unanimous decision. Well, it wasn't a unanimous decision, was it? So you were wrong on both counts. Talking about it's conceivable he stopped Sean on the ropes. Did he? What happened when he tried to push him on the ropes? Sean would turn the tables on him because you didn't watch Sean's skill set. You wasn't trying to break it down. You was just going with what people say. Tommy Temper says, hit the like, people. Thank you. Shout out to Tommy Temper. I see you putting up videos, Tommy. We need to come in on those videos, man. We need to, but I like it. I like your streams too. Tangible Boxing. Errol does drink a lot. Bud treats his body better. That ain't got nothing to do with it for next year. And I ain't talking about, maybe late in 2020, Bud will build up enough, well, not really. But anyway, he going to try and build up enough strength and endurance to deal with an Errol or Sean. Keith's probably the weakest link in all of them. I think Danny's stronger than Keith right now. Keith's strong, don't get me wrong, but he ain't strong enough yet. Pacquiao's strong as shit, man. Pacquiao's strong for a little guy. Or should I say he's powerful? He's not strong. He's powerful. He's not strong. Not strong like them other guys. You can still manhandle Pacquiao. Intangible Boxing. Bud doesn't blow up 50 pounds like Brandon Rios. Man, that don't mean shit. He a little guy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He gonna get big. He gonna get bigger and strong. And then we're gonna see what can happen. We'll see the do. Maybe by the end of 2020, I'm reaching, but 2021 he probably be strong enough. He really fully. That's what Bob Arum be doing. Why do you think he having all these fights? Fights he can win, build his confidence, get him acclimatized to the welterweight division. Bob know what he doing. Riley punking Errol Spence. But right now, as it stands, he would get butchered, man. In the later rounds. Notice I said in the later rounds. Y'all have to pay attention to what I'm saying. A lot of y'all would just take it out of context. Oh, Errol just going to sweep him. I never said that. It's going to be competitive. But when it comes down to the championship rounds, that's when Errol going to put it on him. Same thing with Danny Garcia. It's going to be competitive. But when they see those championship rounds, notice Danny Garcia and Terrence Crawford are from the same sort of size and weight class. They faced each other and everything. They're about the same size. And the thing about Danny is a little bit stronger than Terrence right now. He a little bit stronger than Terrence. So what Errol ends up doing to Danny gives us a good indication of what he would do to Terrence. You see? And Danny can crack. Danny got power. Terrence, I mean, we don't really know where his power level's at. From what I see, he don't get rid of guys fast enough. So Danny got rid of Amir Khan in 4 rounds. Amir Khan was still standing in the 7th when he hit him with Amir Khan's alleged low blow, right? He dropped Amir Khan in the 1st round, but he really didn't do much to Amir Khan. He was trying to get him out of there, but he couldn't really get him out of there, right? Danny got rid of Amir Khan in 4 rounds. When Danny hit Amir Khan went down. Boop. And after that, Danny finished his ass. Okay? I'm telling y'all, Terrence is being overhyped. And the Amir Khan that faced Danny was Amir Khan in his prime, whereas this Amir Khan just got knocked out by Canelo, right? That's the Amir Khan we're dealing with. That get dropped by Samuel Vargas, okay? So that's the Amir Khan Terrence Crawford faced versus what Danny Garcia faced. And Danny still got him out of there sooner than Terrence Crawford, okay? Mauricio Herrera pieced up Jose Benavidez. He was always open for the overhand right. It took Terrence 11 rounds to figure that out. So all the smartness and all the skillfulness and all that shit, he can't do a better job than Mauricio Herrera with Jose Benavidez. I told you the man is overhyped. Y'all going down the hype train. Intangible Boxer said, I just go by what I watched in the past. I don't do film studies unless I try to improve my game. Well, I pay attention. I pay attention. I try to duplicate and I pay attention. So I look at different styles in boxing. I look at what the guy's been doing. I look at other guys been training. I look at other guys been tested. I do my homework on different things. I don't just step up to the plate and just open my mouth and run my mouth. I don't do that. I don't do that shit. Joe 56984 said Max Kellerman said Bud would stop Errol in the middle rounds. I don't see that happening. Max Kellerman is speaking what the programming of Bob Arum and ESPN wants him to say. Max Kellerman is hired for the highest bidder. Okay? Max Kellerman has stopped telling the truth a long time ago. Okay? He's been compromised for a long time. Right? But hey, y'all want to see Errol face Bud? Put him in there with Errol. Errol, don't face Danny Garcia next. Face Bud. So he could do what he did to Danny to Bud. Instead of doing it to Danny, he's gonna do it to Bud. That's all. Errol can take a punch. You know what I'm saying? Tangible Boxing says proudly on the Bud hype train. Okay. That train gonna crash. All right, I'm just telling you. Anytime people are being unfairly assessed, and I'm not an Errol Spence big fan, I'm not a Bud Crawford big fan. Okay, I like both fighters, but I think that in terms of the welterweight division, they're the most inexperienced fighters in the welterweight division. All right, Keith Thurman's got better action at the top tier level. I think Sean Porter has better action at the top tier level, and I think Danny Garcia had better action throughout his career. Period. Danny Garcia's resume is better than Terrence Crawford's resume. Period. Period. Danny Garcia right now has the best resume out of all of the guys right now in the welterweight division for his career. Could Danny be matched tough from the beginning? Okay. Manny Pacquiao obviously has the best resume of them all, but I'm saying Danny. Then after Danny, you're talking all-time resume. You're talking, I think it's Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman would have the next one, mainly because he faced Pacquiao as well. Okay. Then you got Porter, who faced everybody at welterweight except for Terrence and Manny Pacquiao. And then you got Errol, and then you got Bud. Okay? That's experience you can't pay for. So, Bud is at the bottom of my list. At the bottom of my list. And Bud could face some guys that would be able to find out something. You got Sergey Lipinets. He's probably like a Felix Diaz. Well, he better than Felix Diaz because he actually beat Lamont Peterson. And stop him. He's an inside fighter. So I want to see how Bud would do against an inside fighter. How many inside fighters has Bud faced? I'll wait. Styles make fights. Competent inside fighters. So Lipinets wants to face him. You talk about fighters being tested. They're always tested all the time. But what I'm saying is, what Roy Jones Jr. said about Errol Spence more so applies now to Terrence Crawford. Let Terrence Crawford face Sean Porter. Y'all want to call Sean Porter a litmus test? Let him face Sean Porter. If you don't want to, if y'all saying all this talk and all this stuff, Sean Porter, okay, let him face Sean Porter then. Let him face Sean Porter next. Sean Porter need an opponent. He just faced Errol. If he can't get the rematch with Errol, let him face Sean Porter. Right? But if he can't face Sean Porter, he can't face Errol Spence. I recommended names with Dennis Ugas, Sergey Lipinets. Okay, we got Jesse Vargas. We got a bunch of them actually. Robert Guerrero. He kind of a little bit old and over the hill, but put him in there with Robert Guerrero. Robert Guerrero's durable and stuff. He got knocked out the last fight, but still put him in there with Robert Guerrero. Let's see what Robert Guerrero can do with him. You know, these are faded dudes. Robert Guerrero's faded. Lipinets is more in his prime. Ugas is limited, but he is in his prime. Put him in there with one of them guys. You know, PBC don't have a problem working with anybody. We see that with Andy Ruiz. We see that with his Deontay Wilder fights. We just recently saw Derevyanchenko versus Gennady Golovkin. PBC ain't got no problem with their fighters going across the pond. The person who's keeping this shit back is Bob Arum. And y'all need to get the facts right. He pointed the finger as if it's Al Heyman when it's really him. Okay? His fighter ain't ready. And he knows his fighter is not ready for these guys. So he's trying to hold out, and then he does the usual thing he does. He points the finger and says, no, that guy not ready for my fighter. They ducking my fighter. He did the usual punk ass shit that he did with Pacquiao and Mayweather. He knew Pacquiao was never ready for Mayweather. He wanted to keep Pacquiao as far away from Mayweather as possible. He was trying to sabotage the final negotiations that actually worked out. It's Todd LaBeouf, Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellaby, and Al Heyman, and the CBS dude who made that fucking fight happen. If it was up to Bob Arum, it never would have happened. Okay? After Pacquiao got his ass beat, then Bob Arum wanted, Pacquiao wanted out of his contract. Bob Arum was ready to release him. And then you wasn't hearing all the hype on Pacquiao anymore. Even though he beat Timothy Bradley, even though he beat Jesse Vargas. Okay? Let's be real. Pacquiao's hype is coming back because he beat Keith Thurman. I'm just being real. I'm one of the most honest guys you will find in the business. I tell you guys how I see it. I have no fucking agenda. PBC doesn't work with anybody. See? Now you just climbing. You trolling. That's what you're doing, Intangible. You trolling. PBC doesn't even work in-house. You trolling right now. You clowning around. You trolling, man. Y'all funny, man. I like how you trolling, though. It's funny. I'm just saying that PBC fighters all over the place. We got PBC fighters everywhere. Al Haim is a dude. If the fighter wants to fight, he gonna make it happen. Why hasn't the PBC made LSD versus Russell? That's Leo Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell Jr. Ask Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell. It should be an easy fight to make. I'm thinking one of them fighters didn't want to face the other guy. Or it is that Leo Santa Cruz. I don't know. That's a great question. I think it's because the fighters don't want to face each other. Now, Gary Russell Jr. calling out Leo Santa Cruz. At least in the foreground as far as I know. What about Spence versus Thurman 2 years ago? What about it? What about that? What about Pacquiao versus Crawford a year ago? Why didn't that happen in Top Rank? What's your point? What's your point? Doesn't Top Rank work with DAZN? Doesn't it work with different companies? Come on, man. You gotta get serious, man. Why didn't Terrence Crawford face Timothy Bradley at Top Rank? If you're gonna go there, we're gonna go here. All right. Why doesn't Canelo face Demetrius Andrade at DAZN? If we're gonna go there, why doesn't Gennady Golovkin face his mandatories of Jamal Charlo and Demetrius, and he could have faced Demetrius Andrade? Why is it he passed up on the IBF on defending his IBF title against Derevyanchenko? Look, man, you can go on and on and on. It has to do with the fighters or the promoters. It had nothing to do with Al. Al gonna make whatever fight you want. When Mayweather desperately really wanted Pacquiao, Al made it happen. Eventually. Sometimes you can't get it immediately. All right? Because one person be just blocking. You got to work on it. Al Heyman is an advisor. He advises fighters on their career path. Yeah? But he makes things happen. That has nothing to do with being a promoter. He makes things happen. As a manager and as an advisor, the job of the manager and advisor is to get fighters fights they want. Al Heyman made it happen with Derevyanchenko versus Triple G. He was the guy that did the final details on with the lawyers and getting the legal aspects of it tied up, which was a little bit difficult to happen. Al Heyman's the dude that got Danny Jacobs to fight with. Again, he's a manager. You got to know what managers do. Shelly Finkel's a manager. He gets Deontay Wilder fights. You got to understand, they get people fights. That's what managers do. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to manage your damn career. That's what they call managers. They reach out and try to find fights that you can get for you. Just like how you got a manager when you were an actor or a manager when you're a singer. They get things for you. A promoter's supposed to promote you. And they're the guys that sort of bear the cost of events. They bear the cost of a fight. But they are promoters. They're supposed to promote you. Do you guys even understand what I'm talking about? See, I don't talk out my ass. So when I'm talking to you guys, I realize you guys don't even understand what Al Heyman is. You don't even understand what a manager is. You don't understand what a promoter is. You don't. What you really should be asking is, who is Terrence Crawford's manager? That's what you should be asking. But you didn't ask him the right question. You're asking the wrong question. The boxing knowledge, shout out to you, man. Keep preaching the truth, man. You know, I try my best. You know what I'm saying? I try my best. Why didn't Charlo face versus Hurd happen? Because Charlo faced that kid, Harrison, and Harrison beat his ass. That's why it didn't happen. It was supposed to be the next fight after he beat Harrison, and he lost. Just like how Anthony Joshua was supposed to beat Deontay Wilder, and he lost this fight. What do you want him to do? Still face him? Then you get a critique. Oh, instead of Hurd facing Harrison again, give him a second shot, he decided to face the loser. I mean, come on. We can't win with you guys, can we now? Oh, I know Al isn't a promoter. You might know that, but you don't know what Al does, clearly, because you mixing up Al and what he does by getting guys fights with a promoter. Because you think promoters also get fighters fights, which is true, but in a different sort of way. So, see, that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. But anyway, it is what it is. But like I said to you, Errol Spence don't have a problem facing. He don't have a problem facing Terrence Crawford. Trust me, he don't. Okay? But what's in front of him, apparently, is Danny Garcia. But I hope Errol just turns around and says, you know what, Al, give me that Terrence Crawford fight. Give me that Terrence Crawford fight. See if we can make that happen. All right? Because Errol had said the order in which things were supposed to go. Right? He said, I'm going to take this belt from Sean. Then I'm going after Pacquiao's belt. Then I'm coming for Terrence Crawford last. That's what he said. He said this fight's going to happen in 2020. Aram knows it. He already knows that the fight's going to happen in 2020. So what's the problem? But all of a sudden, y'all want the fight to be happening sooner. Okay, fine. Let it happen sooner. But I'm telling you, man, let's have it, man. Let's have it. I don't care. I'm a fight fan. So I don't have a problem with the fight happening. I don't have a problem with the fight happening. Let it happen. I'm not going to stop any fighter from fighting another fighter. But I'm just saying, the boogeyman that everybody making Terrence Crawford to be, all of these boogeymen. Y'all coming to boogeyman. Errol Spence was a boogeyman. Everybody was ducking Errol Spence. When he finally gets that work, he ain't no boogeyman. When he finally gets that work, man down's going out the window. Keith Thurman was the boogeyman. Everybody was, avoiding Keith Thurman. He was this big boogeyman. When he finally get that work, when he finally started to get that work, he ain't no boogeyman no more. Now y'all start up with Terrence Crawford. He's so avoided. He the boogeyman of the division. He pound for pound number one. Y'all start to believe the fucking hype. Y'all start to believe the hype. Y'all did it with Triple G. Y'all talk about Tommy Hearns. How he was y'all worship fighters. Y'all don't break down fights. Y'all don't assess things. Y'all don't look at situations. Y'all just worship people. And I speak about Floyd Mayweather all the time. I'll slam him in y'all face. Because I know some of y'all don't like Floyd Mayweather. You think he's overhyped and all that shit. I'm going to slam him in y'all face. Deliberately. I know his ass could be beat by certain fighters. I know that. I know that. I don't overhype a fighter. I know what I see. But what he has done in the sport of boxing is not going to be replicated anytime soon. It's just not going to happen. And y'all can grit your teeth and you can look at me and you can say I'm a Flomo and you can say all you want to say. I'm going to slam it in y'all face all the time. Every day, 24/7. I don't have a problem doing it because I'm tick y'all off. I'm going to tick y'all off. I'm not saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I'm going to tell you this. The facts that are in his career and the facts that happen, y'all can't dispute him. Errol Spence is not Floyd Mayweather. He's not. So stop comparing him to him. Floyd had a very high standard. Errol Spence is early in his career. When Pretty Boy Floyd was out there, he couldn't stop certain fighters. That Argentinian fighter, what was his name? Something Rios, I think it was. Carlos Rios. Floyd tried to stop his ass, but Rios got the defense. Floyd couldn't stop him. He was riding punches, dipping from punches, rolling punches. Emmanuel Augustus, he said, was his toughest fight because Emmanuel Augustus would roll and counter his ass with combinations. Bust his nose up. Hurt both his hands and shoulders. You know what I'm saying? He got tested. He got tested. That's why he could be the fighter that he was. Terrence wasn't tested. He has not been tested. He has not had to go through the fire. Errol just got tested. That's why I agree 100% with Roy Jones Jr. Errol hasn't been tested. But don't do like Terrence has been tested. He hasn't been. He hasn't. And it's early in their career, so it's okay. And a lot of you guys take these guys and you put them up to a standard where you're looking at the refined Floyd Mayweather when he was money. Money been through it all. That was a refined Floyd Mayweather. You can't compare these guys to a refined Floyd Mayweather. They're early in their careers, man. That's being unfair. Will some of them surpass Floyd? Fuck yeah. They will in certain aspects, in certain areas. Maybe they don't come through their career undefeated. That don't mean they can't surpass them in something. And that's what a lot of you guys, again, a lot of you guys get this nostalgia about a fighter. They could do no wrong. You forget about what their career actually was and the controversies behind their career and the fights that they thought that fighter did not win. Y'all forget this stuff. And just like with Sugar Ray Robinson, y'all going to deify Floyd Mayweather. Didn't I say that? Am I being real? I'm still a Flomo, huh? I'm still a Flomo. Why am I talking boxing here then? Why am I talking about all these other fights? All those real Flomos, they disappeared from the scene a long time ago. Because they was worshiping Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. When it's anything to do with Floyd and Pacquiao, they all of a sudden appear back on the scene. Your boy being here just because his mother was sick. Because my mother was sick, I couldn't really come through. But I've been here talking boxing with you guys. I've been educating you guys on boxing. A lot of you don't know what the fuck you be watching. A lot of you don't know what the fuck you be watching. Errol Spence. Why can't I just take the easy route? I guess Sean Porter was the easy route, huh? For you, huh? Sean Porter was the easy route, huh? I guess he was easy. Man, shut the fuck up with that, man. Come on. Come on. Danny Garcia, easy route? Come on, man. You serious? We talking about fights that Pacquiao shouldn't face. He shouldn't face Errol. You hear people saying he shouldn't face Errol. He shouldn't face Sean Porter. He shouldn't face Danny at this time. You hearing them say that. Terrence Crawford's in the mix too. He shouldn't face Terrence. But don't get it twisted. You're doing like these guys are easy touches. As Showbiz the adults say, they all got their strengths. They all should face each other. Terrence Crawford shouldn't just face Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford should face Sean Porter. He should face Danny Garcia. He should face Keith Thurman. Bobby Arum have y'all brainwashed, saying he only should face Errol Spence. Y'all still buying into that bullshit narrative that Bobby Arum be doing. He be playing y'all ass. Sean Porter's the first guy to face Errol Spence. Keith Thurman didn't want to face him. And we all know this. Keith Thurman didn't want to face him. Danny Garcia, he wanted to face him. Danny Garcia was calling him out way before. Right? Once he became world champion, Danny Garcia was calling him out. But don't do like, just because Keith Thurman didn't want to face him, that means that everybody else didn't want to face him. He wasn't no boogeyman like that. And Keith Thurman was undisputed welterweight champion. So he was sitting back, watching the scene, watching them guys face each other, and then he would face the winner. That's how he was doing it. Terrence Crawford was trying to do the same thing. He trying to sit back, watch everybody face each other, and then the winner could come and face him. That's what he really want to do. He want to be a drone, but he ain't earn it. He's not no unified champion. The person who should be doing that is Errol Spence. He got the clout. He should sit back and just let everybody face each other, and then he face them. He's in that position. I'm just being real. I'm not an Errol Spence fan or nothing. I'm just being consistent. If you listen to my points and my arguments, I've been very consistent in what I've been saying. I'm not one of those guys who pick sides and care. I don't care about Errol Spence that much. I thought Sean Porter beat him. All right? Definitely don't care about Terrence Crawford that much. But y'all kiss, and like I said, some of you guys suck dick. Y'all suck dick hard. Y'all just ride with a fighter, and you have no reasoning behind it. You just riding with a fighter. You pick the dude, and you just decide to ride with him. All your reason and everything gonna line up with that. You're not watching it, the skill set, the attributes, the all-around game, the testing, the composition of the fighter. You're not watching that shit. I like both fighters though. Errol Spence has similar hair to Floyd Mayweather when Floyd was in his 20s, so Spence can be the next Floyd. There will never be another next Floyd. There's only one Floyd Mayweather, and everybody else who try to imitate, they're gonna get dusted. Bud has similar hair to Ray Leonard when he faced Hagler, so he's Ray Leonard 2.0. Nope. There's only one Ray Leonard. There'll never be another. Mike Alvarado already surpassed everyone. Spencer Crawford and Pac-Man are trying to work their way up to Mike Alvarado. Mike Alvarado is bald and his many tattoos as a tactic to trick his opponents to make it seem like they're fighting Miguel Cotto. What's up, Mike Alvarado TV? Shout out to you guys, man. All I'm saying is that at times you just need to just sit back, look at the situation. You know, the fight that I got wrong, and there's a couple fights I got wrong, right? But the fight I got wrong with this kid and Sergey Kovalev, right? What's the kid's name? I forgot his name. The British kid, right? Almost came to part, almost was right. And the reason why I figured that out was because Sergey Kovalev had flaws. He had flaws, and it had been proven. And I was wondering if this guy, even though he was inexperienced, could exploit those things. And it proved that he could because he had the skill set to see it. This kid hadn't faced anybody on Sergey Kovalev's level. All right. But he came through and he did his thing. I forgot what the kid's name is. You guys know who I'm talking about. He did his thing and he almost prevailed. Now, that's not the case with Errol Spence. Errol Spence has solid all-round game. He's an all-round fighter. He's solid all-round. He can do a lot of things, and he showed he could box as well as he could bang, as well as he could break you down, right? So Errol is showing you different attributes. Tangible boxing. Ruslan Provorko is Asian with similar hairstyle to Niall Inu. So Timothy Bradley thought he was fighting a bantamweight. That's funny. So anyway, I'm going on with what I'm saying. My point being this. Yeah, you got proven and unproven fighters, all right? And fighters can accomplish different things. But at the end of the day, as much as the fighter may be hungry, he has to be all around prepared for what he's about to face. All right? And so it's more than just skills, like I said before. It's strength. You have to have the strength to be able to deal with it. Hold on a second. I got to go turn on this light. I also have to go get some food, man. I ain't got no food. I ain't even eat lunch. It's crazy. I didn't even eat lunch today. My stomach should be acting up on me. I gotta do something about that though. So it's not just so when I pick Errol over Spence, it's for now. When Spence gets strong enough, I'm sorry. When I pick Errol over Crawford, it's for now. I'm not talking about later down the road. And anyway, I don't care. If he faces Errol now, it don't matter. If he faces him later, it don't matter to me. I'm a fight fan. I'm never gonna stop people from fighting one another. Right? You feel you can do it? Anthony Yarde is the guy I was thinking about. If you think you can do it, do it. All right? More power to you if you succeed. But from my assessment of the situation, the reason why Terrence Crawford has not faced these guys yet is because Bob Arum's not confident that he can face those guys. It's actually on Bob Arum that this is happening. It is not on did you see the KSI Logan Paul London press conference? I got little snippets of it. I wasn't really hyped about anything. It was more show than anything else. I wasn't hyped about nothing. It's not really boxing. Those guys are not really boxers, and so it is what it is. But hey, more power to them. I hope they make a lot of money. A lot of people are interested in that stuff. It's not really my thing, though. I pretty much figured it out. Now I was kind of tuned out to it. No, Inu is probably pound for pound number one, though. Yeah, just like Chocolito Gonzalez. Yeah, sure. Sure he is. Sure. I got to see more of these guys' career. Their career's got to be a little longer for me to say you pound for pound number one. You know, Inu tricks opponents into thinking he's a K-pop artist, which is why he wins. It's funny, man. You guys be trolling hard, you know. I think you trolling too, Intangible. To be fair, I think you trolling. Unless you're riding with Bud because of the fight, the Sean Porter, Errol Spence fight. You probably riding with Bud. But I honestly, because again, you probably got your prediction wrong. But I personally thought that Sean Porter's that kind of fighter, and Bud doesn't have anything like the style like Sean Porter. Sean Porter has a totally different style to Bud. Sean Porter has a wider range of skills than Bud. But I mean, nobody listened to me when I said it. And when I was looking at Sean Porter, I always thought that he was underrated, and a lot of people underrated Sean Porter. But then again, everybody listening to Bob Arum. Oh, those other welterweights, they're bums. They nothing. You know, Errol's the only one. All right, then. All right. I don't troll when I said Bud beats Spence. I had Bud beating Spence before the Porter fight. Bud beats Spence. Right now. At this point in time, he beats Spence. Or a little later down the road, you think he can. Maybe at the end of 2020, 2021. Not right now. Ain't happening. He can't hold off Spence. Not for 12 rounds. He can't. I wish him the best, though. I hope he proved me wrong. Maybe at the end of 2020, he might be able to do something. He gonna get tested. And he sure as hell ain't beating Sean Porter. Sean Porter gonna grab that IBO title. Give me that IBO title. Porter's a problem for everybody. And he would beat Pacquiao. I'd favor him to beat Pacquiao. I'd favor him to beat Crawford at this point in time. Those guys are little guys. You know. And Sean Porter is 100% in winning against little guys. He beat them up. It's the bigger guys that he has a problem with. I think if Bud faces Spence right now, tomorrow, 3 months later, or 3 years later, he wins. You got a lot of confidence in Bud for doing absolutely nothing in the sport so far. When it comes to these welterweights, they're different. They're different. Pacquiao has faced all of the all-time great welterweights. So Pacquiao had that experience on Keith Thurman. He had that experience on Keith Thurman. Bud don't got that. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you. I favor Pacquiao to beat Bud by split decision if they were to ever face each other. I got Pacquiao. Pacquiao got a good chance to beat Errol, Bud. The only person Pacquiao is not beating is Sean Porter. Porter would beat him. Porter got the style to beat Pacquiao. But everybody else, I got Pacquiao. Pacquiao got a good chance of beating those guys. Good chance. 55-45. Yeah. He got a good chance of beating them guys. Um, and not necessarily because he actually wins the fights, but if the fights are close, and I can see Pacquiao, he's tricky. He can get off to a very quick start on those guys, because the guys, they just don't understand how quick he is. I know say that speed training is going to be able to deal with that very unorthodox style and the timing of Pacquiao. I mean, Terrence did work on his speed against Amir Khan, but even then, Amir Khan was still able to get some shots in on Terrence. But Pacquiao is a whole other kettle of fish, man. He getting some shots on you, you going down. Pacquiao something, man. He's something. I'm not gonna lie. He's something. He proved me wrong a bunch of times, so I'm not even gonna try and even. He's something, man. You got to be an inside fighter to beat Pacquiao. You got to get him on the inside. You can't give yourself a lot of room. You got to actually smother yourself and smother him. And Terrence, he fight too clean. Errol, he fight too clean. Sean Porter's the only guy that can do it because he gets really tight and really close in on you. So he smothers your punches while he's landing his punches. Jeff Horn was able to do that against Pacquiao. So that's why I said it's not just inside fighting. You got to be able to cramp Pacquiao for space, otherwise he'll counterpunch you as you come to the inside. Sean Porter tricks opponents into thinking he's a mere man, which is crowned with his cornrows, which is why people try to walk him down. Tangible Boxing says, I don't care how much you try to just dismiss everything Bud can do or has done. I ride with him all the way. I never dismiss anything Bud has done. I've never dismissed anything. If you listen carefully, you will realize I'm not dismissing anything that but when I put him up in comparison to these welterweights, they have accomplished more. They have. I'm not dismissing anything he's done. What he's done, he's done. And it's great for him. I'm just saying you overhyping the dude. And that's the problem. You guys have a comprehension problem with me. You don't listen to what I'm actually saying. I've never said that Bud is a bum or he's not a great fighter or that he doesn't deserve his pound for pound rank. I never said none of that. All I'm saying is he ain't tested like these guys. These guys are tested. He's not tested. And at welterweight, he hasn't done shit. Can't face nobody to let me know that he can deal with these guys. I'm just saying, right? How am I going to ride with somebody when they haven't shown me anything yet? He been knocking out guys left, right, and center, but he's not doing something that them other welterweights wouldn't do. So what is he doing? What makes him so different to them? What makes him so exceptional? You watch at his previous performances at welterweight, how he's dusting guys, and you rate him all the way up there. But when we look at the common opponents that some of these other welterweights face, like Amir Khan, he's taking a lot longer to dust Amir Khan. Okay, and on top of that, I mean, don't give him hype and praise for that. When Amir Khan is done already over the hill, he's seen his best days. He's not even a world champion no more, but you give him all this praise in the world. Whereas y'all criticize and want to bash Danny Garcia's resume. Oh, he faced all these old guys and stuff. But Terrence Crawford ain't faced nobody like them. At least let's see his Eric Morales. Let's see his Amir Khan. He faced a version of Amir Khan, but let's see the Amir Khan. How he fared against him. Right? Where's his test? Every fighter gets tested. Well, where is his test? Ricky Burns? Ricky who? Ricky who? His best win in his entire fucking career is Urocas Gamboa. Urocas Gamboa. Little ass Urocas Gamboa. And y'all see that when a bigger fighter faces a smaller fighter coming up, what happens when they got comparable skill set? But yet, Y'all easy. Gulp that shit up. But when it comes to Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, all of a sudden the paradigms are different. They different. Terrence Crawford's a different fighter. He like a Floyd Mayweather or a Ray Leonard. All right. We'll see. Ray Leonard, when he fought bigger guys, the Daniel Alons and the Marvin Haglers of the world, especially Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler beat his ass, but nonetheless, let's forget that. Marvin Hagler went about clowning and all kinds of shit. All right? He made the fight closer than it needed to be, and that's on him. Okay? Errol Spence is not Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler can do a lot more. Errol is so much more tighter than Marvin Hagler. Errol can also do certain things in that ring that Marvin Hagler can't do. I'm not trying to disrespect Marvin Hagler, but the way how Errol fights is not rhythmic. Marvin Hagler bounce up and down, bounce up and down. He be coming after you, bouncing up and down, boop, boop, boop. So you could time Marvin Hagler. That's what Sugar Ray Leonard did. Errol slides in, kind of like a Danny Garcia, keeps his feet planted, or when he's ready, he will shuffle or pivot around you. Every now and then he'll bounce. You can't get his timing. Costa Zoo, Mayweather, Gennady Golovkin, to some degree Canelo, but Canelo still bounces with the rhythm. He does a rhythm thing, but he changes up his rhythm. These guys, they don't use rhythm. Sean Porter uses different styles, period. So if you're looking to time these guys, it's very difficult to do. Terrence uses a shuffle or a rhythm. Bounce up and down, goes in and out. Nothing's wrong with that. Staying on your toes, bouncing in and up and on. Not a problem. He does something like what Sean does sometimes. Sean acquires that style, and then he just changes. If you got a rhythm, and the fighter picks up your rhythm, it's a problem. Danny Garcia is another guy that don't really got much rhythm. Okay? Now, why that's important is because if you want to time somebody's punches or whatever, you have to be able to find patterns. So that's what I'm talking about. See, I'm breaking down different aspects of the game. I'm not just talking out my ass when I talk to you guys. A lot of you guys just talk. You just talk. You just talk. Right? I am actually giving you points. I'm actually giving you points for you to check, think about, consider what I'm saying. I'm giving you arguments, in other words. I don't just talk. Mike Alvarado versus Miguel Cotto. Who would win if they fought? It would be like two mirrors fighting. The judges would be confused. DeMarcus Coley beat Floyd Mayweather. The judges got confused and mixed up the two when they fought. Floyd still had hair on his head, I think. I asked Crawford on Instagram and Twitter if he's willing to fight Michael Alvarado, and Bud avoided my question. He got terrified of that guy. Yo, funny, man. Anywho's, man, I'm out of here. It was good talking to you guys. Today was a rainy day, so I didn't get to go out there and do much. I forgot. I DM'd him. Oh, man. Y'all so silly. I'm going to catch y'all guys later. But that's what I wanted to say about that. You know, Terrence be punking Errol because he knows Errol's going to face him next year. So that's what's really up, you know. And the fact that he's punking Errol, all right? Errol showed up at an event which Terrence Crawford was at. Errol showed up at an event to talk to Terrence Crawford. You understand what I'm saying? Errol was looking at him like, you too small, homie. You too small. He knew what he was saying at the time. You know. But anyway, we'll see that fight soon enough. Y'all looking for things that you think are flaws with Errol Spence. You're talking about he drinking. I don't know if Errol drinks or not. I heard some people say that. That's a rumor. If he drinks, that's a stupid thing to do. You know. He going to be weight checking himself. So, Y'all should have had Terrence face him earlier. Y'all didn't. Um, Errol Spence is getting serious with what he does. We'll see how it all turns out in the end. Right? With this fight game. We'll see how it all turns out in the end. But that's what I'm just giving you my assessment of what I see, how the styles work. I'm thinking about what happened with Danny Garcia and with certain fighters, especially in the later rounds. Lamont Peterson fight, he had the same problem with Eric Morales in the later rounds, and so on. So when I look at where Errol will have his opportunity with Danny Garcia, I know why I say what I say. With Bud, because Bud is round about the same size as Danny, and like I said, I would love to see a Bud Danny Garcia fight. I think that one is much more competitive than if you were to face a bigger guy like Sean Porter or Errol Spence. But it is what it is. You guys believe in Bud, so good for y'all. I'm just saying, man. It's different, man. It's different. And you guys are undervaluing the skill set and the power and the strength of these welterweights. Be real welterweights. That's all I'm saying. Deontay Wilder should face David Price next. I heard Chisora might be facing David Price. Why? I don't know. Two bums going at it. It is what it is. So anyway, man, you guys be good. I'm going to put up some more videos before the day is over. I got stuff to put up for sale so I can get some money in here and pay some bills. And also, you guys can also donate to my channel, so don't forget you can donate. I see Tommy Temper putting up some videos. You know what I'm going to do? I'm still do some breakdown on fights. So you guys going to see the Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. I'm going to try and put that up soon. I'm also going to try and break down Sugar Ray Leonard's style a little bit for some people so they can understand the style that he has. And I did a little bit of breakdown yesterday, but I'm going to do a lot more breakdown on him. All right, so you guys can benefit from that. But I got to go get something to eat. I ain't eat nothing for the day. I only ate this morning breakfast. And that's going to build up some gas in me, and that's never a good thing. I did drink some water, but I need to drink some more water. So you guys have a good one, man. Good talking with you guys. Shout out to Intangible, Tommy Temper, Mike Alvarado, AKI TV. Shout out to AKI TV. I like listening to AKI TV as well. The nice little split decision that you guys are putting out there. You guys should check out Split Decision with AKI TV and Professor Nims, I think is the name. Them guys be doing some good stuff. I don't always agree with AKI TV. Sometimes he says some things that just don't make no sense to me. But for the most part, because he boxes and everything, I kind of agree with most of the stuff he's saying. The boxing knowledge, shout out to you, brother. Joe56984, shout out to you. Of course, my boy Tommy Temper. We need to do something together, Tommy. I'm gonna have to find that platform that you was talking about and see how it can work, or if you can put it up. Tommy Temper, let's go, champ. And Intangible Boxing. Shout out to Intangible. That's my dude. We might disagree on things. I mean, it may even seem like I'm being abusive or what, but we that's my dude. You understand what I'm saying? And he riding with Terrence right now, and I ain't riding with nobody. I'm just saying, I'm just saying that I just don't think Terrence is ready for them guys yet. But hey, if he thinks he's ready, put him in there. You know what I'm saying? Put him in there. I don't have a problem. I ain't gonna stop nobody from fighting. It's a good thing. Mike Alvarado says it'll be a great fight to see Deontay Wilder versus David Price. StreamYard. Yeah. StreamYard. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Filipino Heat 805. Shout out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to see my brother in the building. And Deontay Wilder versus Adam Galnacki goes to a split decision. No. No. Split decision. You know what? It could be a split decision. Somebody's head gonna get split open, and I don't think it's Wilder's. Ganaki would have to decide he had to make a split decision to come off the canvas or continue snoozing. Which hospital he should go to. StreamYard isn't hard to use. Thank you, man. I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna check it out. Hopefully I can use it on the phone. If not, maybe I can talk to Tommy Temper, because we need to really comment on these fights, and I would love you guys to see our faces while we comment on the fights, because you can show up the faces of the people as we comment on the fights. I would love to do that. We may have to do it round by round. We may have to post it up on Daily Motion or some other place, and then have you guys go there, and then you can leave your comments after. But it's definitely something we need to do so you guys can get an idea of how to score fights. A lot of people do know how to score fights to some degree, and we're gonna go into some more details. I'll say this again. I'll repeat. Fights are scored on 4 criteria. The 4 criteria is not something you just kind of like be looking for each criteria. You kind of see it fluidly as the fight is going on. All right. You kind of watch to see who's controlling the rounds, who's getting to do what they want to do, which means who's controlling the rounds, which is basically ring generalship. If the person is an aggressor, effective aggression because he's landing his punches, of course, not just landing punches, but also effective punches. Effective punches would evoke a response from the opponent. You have to be able to understand how a boxer responds to certain things to know when they're hurt or when they're not hurt. Okay. And the other thing is, and usually when they are hurt, they either retreat and cover the area that they've been hit with, or they may bounce up and down, or they'll do a number of different things. They may shake their head, whatever, but you know that the punch is effective. And you also can hear the punch. If the punch is landed and it's thudding and it's loud, but it's not clean, usually the reaction of the boxer tells you everything you need to know. All right, because there's a difference between a boxer cowering going into a defensive shell where they not get hit versus when they actually did get hit. You actually see that triggered reaction. You see the whole body jerk into the reaction. Whereas it's a little bit different. But you have to understand the nuances of boxing. Unfortunately, we're not up close and personal in the ring to hear the boxers exhale on the punch. Sometimes they go when they really been hit hard. You know, they blow out. Well, you can't be there to hear that. The referee would hear it. You know, the other boxer would hear it, but you wouldn't be able to hear it, unfortunately. They don't mic it that well. But all of these little details, sometimes a punch sounds like it was a shot from hell, when in fact it hit the boxer, but it wasn't really with the impact. So the boxer looks like he didn't feel nothing. It's because he didn't feel nothing. So you have to be able to understand, see these things. When you know the game plan of both boxers based on their previous fights, you know what kind of style the boxer fights in. When you think about the game plan, if you don't know the game plan, it will start to evolve on you as you watch the fight go on, especially the boxer who is having his way. You will see the game plan there. So it's all of these little things you need to know as you're watching a fight, because it's not about counting punches for people. It's not about counting punches. It's about watching at the 4 criteria. Effective is the key word. And once you understand that, it's easy to score. Well, not easy. Certain fights are not easy to score. But, like, for instance, the last fight, the Derevyanchenko fight, was easy to score. So I would love to just start going through some fights with you guys. And if I can work with Tommy Temper, if I can work with Get the Smoke. The only problem sometimes going with these guys, Get the Smoke and Tommy Temper, sometimes some people may actually be using things which have nothing to do with the fight. And so that's where I have a problem. And it could confuse people as to what the assessment of the fight is and the assessment of the rounds. A lot of times, too, people do not look at the defense of fighters, and you also have to comment on the defense when you're watching at it in real time. Of course, you look at the defense in context. And if I was to do fight breakdowns, unfortunately, I still don't have a media player that can really take rip videos off of YouTube and put it in the media player to do little sample sizes. But I'm working on it. There's a lot more going on in the fights that I can't really explain. You can't do it in real time. You just kind of have to break it down really simple for the casual boxing fan. But if we go to break it down into real time and real stuff, it would be a lot more fun to watch and talk and discuss and then try and imitate. But having said all of that, I hope that you guys will watch at the videos. I'm going to try and get those breakdowns. I'm also going to try and talk about different boxer styles, different styles of boxers in boxing, especially the elite ones, so that you guys can get an idea and get familiar with the different styles that are out there, so that when you see these guys in the ring, you're not confused by what they do well and what they don't do well and what they bring to the table. Once you know what a boxer brings to the table, now you can look for it, right? So that's the kind of thing that allows you now to be able to score fights properly, see fights properly, and therefore not realize that certain fights are not close like people make it sound. Especially the scorecard shouldn't be close. The rounds may be competitive, but they're not close rounds, because one boxer is actually being effective, actually landing the punches that he wants to land, and the other boxer is not really being effective and is not really landing the punches that he wants to land. So if both boxers are being effective and landing the punches that they want to land, that's a much closer fight. But It is what it is. So that, Spence versus Porter was a closer fight than GGG versus Derevchenko, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, I hope that you guys have a good one. Blessings to you guys. You're going to see me in the next video very soon. I got a lot of material still to come, so look out for them as the night progresses and into tomorrow. You guys have a good one. Peace.